Hoi hoi! The Notorious one is back and ready to attack. Welcome back to Manga Tuesday, episode 72. I am, of course, the aforementioned Notorious one, and today we will be reviewing, as requested by the notoriously infamous Woody Xenoverse 15, we will be reviewing Rurouni Kenshin. This is Rurouni Kenshin. This is the Vizbig. It's a 3-in-1 Rurouni Kenshin. I gotta be honest with you, I haven't actually read Rurouni Kenshin. I only own the one Vizbig. I'll look at getting more of the series and reading it at some point in the future, but that point in time hasn't happened yet, so I don't really know too much about it. I just know that it's a very highly regarded series, so I assume the mangaka, the person who created the manga, is also very highly regarded and well respected within the industry. So I just wanted to, celebrate him and his work in this episode of Manga Tuesday. But as I just said, unfortunately, I don't really know much about it, so I can't really pay him much respects. But luckily, for today's episode of Manga Tuesday, we finally have found a new co-host. So today's episode of Manga Tuesday will be co-hosted by, don't read the title, get ready for the surprise reveal right now. Today's episode will be co-hosted by none other than Paul PPP Pizzle himself. It's Paul. If you don't know Paul, you should, and if you don't, you will about to learn. So for today's episode, we're going to put Paul up on the PPP cam, and we're going to see my live reaction. I asked Paul to send me something. I sort of just left it pretty vague, just do whatever you want. I think he knows about Rurouni Kenshin. I brought Paul in because I believe he has an expertise in Rurouni Kenshin. Maybe I was misplaced in that information. Maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about. But we're about to find out together if he knows what he's talking about, because I haven't watched what he sent me yet. So I'm going to watch it live now with Paul on the PPP cam. I need to take these off to see, because these aren't for reading. These are for style. And I need to take this off so I can breathe, because I'm fat. And because these pretzels are making me thirsty. Shitty little earphones in. Laptop prepared, very dirty. It needs a clean already. PPP cam. PPP cam. PPP cam. PPP cam. PPP cam. PPP cam. Alright, let's start. This is going to be annoying to sync up while I'm editing. If I make a really loud clicking out. Maybe I go click. Better than my intro. Ah! It's Paul! Look, he's coming in! I thought he was going to stop in the center. He's just shooting all the way across. Oh! He stopped on the on the right side of the screen for some reason.
Hey!
That was the weakest hey I've ever heard. I don't think Paul likes being paraded around like a circus animal, being made to say "Err."
Hey! And welcome to... Wait a minute. This isn't Bit Talk. Oh, it's Happy Manga Tuesday!
You said it! Woo!
For those of you who may not know me, this is Paul Avendano, but you may know me in the video game world as PPP, Pizzle, and currently on the PlayStation Network, I'm Buri Taicho. And welcome, not to Bit Talk, but to Manga Tuesday.
Look, it's Paul.
And today, we're going to be talking about Rurouni Kenshin.
Why is there a key? What's that key in the background? What is that? What is that a key to? Just an observation.
As you can tell, I actually own this.
Ha! He
How
has.
else?
Wait,
You can't pirate something physical. But Rurouni Kenshin, really good stuff. So,
Ha! Anyways, no, he only has a single volume. He might have more volumes, like he might have the whole series, I don't know. But he doesn't have it in Vizbigs, so actually he probably has the superior version. I think collectors of manga generally seem to prefer trying to get the singles, especially since singles usually end up being harder to find. They're more rare commodities. So, whatever. I like the Vizbigs. Dragon Ball Vizbigs, Rurouni Vizbigs. The Vizbigs are nice. Let's continue.
So, for those of you that don't know about it,
this is a longish video. I shouldn't interrupt it as much, especially since I don't know anything about Rurouni Kenshin. Apologies. I'll interrupt less moving forward.
before you read this, you should watch the OVAs, because the OVAs are pretty awesome. It's actually what got me hooked into the show, or actually in this case, the manga. So, the OVAs, they're, what are they, 3 or 4 movies? I can't remember. It was a long time ago when I saw them. But you get to see how big of a badass Mr. Rurouni Kenshin is. For those of you that don't know, Rurouni is wandering and Kenshin is swordsman. So he's known as the Wandering Swordsman.
What? Rurouni is who now, and what's a Kenshin? I thought the guy's name... I thought it was one person who's the main characters were Rurouni Kenshin. I think he might have actually said that. I don't know what he just said.
It's kind of, you know, he's kind of like a, well, if you watch the OVA, you'll see how big of a badass he is. He has this move that I dare you to say it 10 times fast.
I'll do
it's
it.
The
what is it?
Amakakuro de Hirameki.
Okay, the problem is I don't know how to say it one time, so I can't say it 10 times fast.
Amakakuro de Hirameki. Woo! So when you watch the first OVA, it's pretty awesome. This dude comes up and they're like, well, this is when he's a little kid. And spoilers, I'm going to be spoiling the OVA.
Whoa! I haven't read the series, Paul. You can't spoil it for me. Be very careful with your next words, Mr. PPP Pizzle.
His master, you know, this dude comes up and he's like raping this woman. He's like, yeah, girl, I'm giving it to you even though you don't want it. Do not do that. Bad. Nope, don't do that.
Let's just rewind that part. I need to hear that again.
His master, you know, this dude comes up and he's like raping this woman. He's like, yeah, girl, I'm giving it to you even though you don't want it. Do not do that. Bad. Nope, don't do that.
Paul, you did. I agree, Paul, but just be careful for the things you advocate for. You could start to alienate some of the Manga Tuesday fan base. Just be careful.
Yeah, girl, I'm giving it to you even though you don't want it.
Let's continue.
And so then this dude, he comes up and he's like, who the hell are you? And Kenshin's master's like, there's no point in introducing myself to the dead. And then he kind of pulls out a sword and does this, but it looks like this. But what you don't know, what you'll find out in this thing.
I'm trying to do like a generic, like, I'm mocking reaction channels reacting face, you know, where they just sit there like, don't say anything, and just like, that's what I was just doing then for the last few seconds.
And then he kind of pulls out a sword and does this, but it looks like this. But what you don't know, what you'll find out in this thing, is he goes, and then the guy's like, blows up like Hokuto no Ken, or Fist of the North Star for you non-Japanese people.
I haven't read Fist of the North Star either, but I want to. I think it's coming out in English now, Fist of the North Star. The first volume might be out. It's probably releasing, like, there might be 2-in-1s, I'm not sure. But it's getting an English release. I don't know if it's for the first time ever. Maybe it was printed, at least part of it was printed in English long ago, and now it's getting reprinted. I don't actually know. But if it... whatever, it's getting printed now, so let's... Paul, please, continue.
And yeah, he blows up and blood goes everywhere, and like, these guys that are screwing this town over, they're just killing and raping and killing and raping.
How much rape is there in Rurouni
Killing and
Kenshin?
raping.
The author of Rurouni Kenshin must be rather interested in rape and related topics. Maybe if I hold the laptop like this, face this way, it'll look like I'm looking straight into the PPP cam. So it looks like I'm staring into Paul's soul. We'll try that.
And raping and killing and raping. And then this guy's just like, huh? And then they die. And then another guy comes up and, huh? Then, okay, you know, he has this twisted childhood and then he ends up becoming this super awesome swordsman. And so then he just, you know, you want someone dead? Hire this guy. He'll kill him. Then all of a sudden, there's a lady that Kenshin killed, and she's not happy. she wants him dead. So what she ends up doing is she ends up becoming a double agent. What do you call double agents over in your part of the woods?
What does that
Whatever
mean?
a double agent is. Then
That sounds like racist either towards me as an Australian or to Japanese people. I don't know what he's talking about there. I don't know what he's doing. Is this Rurouni Kenshin that's spoiling the whole series with 101 with Paul? I don't know. He might still be talking about the OVA. I kind of got distracted by acting like a goofball. Let's continue.
Then she gets him to like fall in love with her and stuff. And then they're like, oh, we're gonna be straight. We're gonna get away from this stuff. So then, like, oh, we're gonna be straight. We're gonna get away from this stuff. So then, she ends up trying to kill him, and all that. You know, she ends up dying. He ends up actually getting cut, which
These seem like big spoilers. Paul, did I not make myself clear that I have not fucking read the series? Sorry, something outside distracted me. I don't think I actually told Paul I haven't read it. But Paul, I haven't read it. Could you tone it down on the spoilers, please? Okay, let's continue. Look at his face on the screen I'm paused on. Is that synced up exactly with the PPP cam? Is it synced up exactly with the PPP cam? I don't fucking know. This is going to be a nightmare to sync up in post and do this shit. And I waited till the last second to record it. This episode's going to come out late, and I'm talking too much. I don't want this episode to be too long.
Which that was like unheard of at the time. Because if you land a hit on Kenshin, then, you know, you're just... Actually, you couldn't. And so, he is famously known for having the scar on his face. And really, it was so...
So the OVAs, I think he was still talking about the OVAs, which now, from my expertise, I have deduced that the OVAs must be like a prequel. They like show Rurouni Kenshin before the beginning of the manga or before the beginning of the anime. That's what I've determined, that they show the backstory of Rurouni and how he got the scar. That's what the OVAs show. I've determined through deduction and logical thinking and the scientific method. You know, I'm a big believer in I'm a big believer in the scientific method, and I've used that method to deduce that the OVAs are a prequel to the series.
Awesome.
Continuing.
That whenever I ended up adopting a cat, I ended up naming him Kenshin because, you know, I was
Kenshin
wondering,
gonna
what
appear?
am I going to call him?
That's how I knew Paul was a big Rurouni Kenshin fan, because he has a cat named after Rurouni Kenshin. Paul must really love Rurouni Kenshin, and he must really love the author of Rurouni, love and respect the author, the mangaka of Rurouni Kenshin, if he would name a pet after his manga. Paul must have a great admiration and deep admiration for the mangaka of Rurouni. What's the name of the mangaka? I keep saying the name. Nobuhiro Watsuki. Paul loves Nobuhiro Watsuki. Let's continue. Is Kenshin going to make an appearance?
One of my coworkers, she was like, "Oh, you should call him Pumpkin." No, we're not calling the cat Pumpkin. You know, it's not a very cool name. So I was wondering, and I always play with him at night. Now I'm allergic to cats, but you know, whatever. You know, he was hungry and didn't have anywhere to live. He was homeless.
A homeless
Kinda
cat.
like one of our friends' friend. Now.
What?
He was homeless. Kind of like one of our friends' friend now. But anyway.
Wait a minute.
No 30 minutes of showering.
What's all this funny business that Paul's talking about? This is non-canon. Ignore that.
And so then I looked at my hand and saw this scratch on my hand. And then it hit me. Oh, you know, the cat keeps scratching you. You should just call him Kenshin. So that...
We're getting the lore, the backstory of the Kenshin the cat. I don't know if Paul's told anyone that. I haven't heard that before. But he might have mentioned it to someone before. But I haven't heard it. Continuing!
That's how my cat got the name Kenshin. And that's why you know a little more of the backstory of this man. So when you read this, you will see why he is Mr. Anti-Violence. And
Anti-violence.
it's strange. I never knew these existed, but apparently he had a sword that the blade was on the opposite side. So when he did have to defend himself, he would just and you would be all GTS'd, but by getting hit by the blunt part of the sword. And if he wanted to cut you, he would have to. What was that? He would have to turn the blade around on the other side.
Sounds like he just was holding the sword the other way, you know? Fuck you, Paul! Stop pandering to the WWE fans in the Manga Tuesday verse. You can't just be referencing CM Punk. He betrayed us. We hate him now. I could kick CM Punk's ass in an MMA fight. Not even joking. With no... Give me he had 2 years in between each of his fights. Give me 2 months and I'll be in shape to whoop his ass. Let's continue.
And so, really, on the you can see how wait a minute, it's the other way around. You don't hold books like that. The binding is over here. Yeah, well, that's how they read stuff on the other side of the world. Or I guess for some of you guys.
Paul, please. We here at Manga Tuesday are all seasoned veteran manga readers. We read so much manga. When we pick up a regular book or comic, we start reading it the wrong way, you know, like the way you would read a manga, you know. When I see a meme online, I read it right to left. That's how manga we are here. Get out of here with your silly knowledge.
On the other side of the world. Or I guess for some of you guys on your side of the world, but with...
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, well, this is in the Japanese version. With a bunch of stuff that you can't read. Anyway, this was a very happy of Manga Tuesdays.
You said it again!
Had a pleasure telling you about Kenshin. I hope you enjoy this, because Kenshin is the man, and you should check it out. It's really awesome. If I were to rate it Kenshin Scars, I would rate it an 8 out of 10 Kenshin Scars. Yeah.
Okay, let me just put this down. Thank you, Paul, for joining us on this Manga Tuesday. You gave us some great insight into Rurouni Kenshin, some insight that I couldn't have given because I haven't read it. I don't read manga. Unfortunately, you gave a little too much insight. That's not really what we're about here at Manga Tuesday. You know, I can't have you showing me up with actual knowledge on a topic, you know. So, I think this will be a one and done. You're getting pushed to the side. But it was great to learn about Kenshin the cat. Here's just a random picture of Kenshin the cat. Maybe at some point in the future we'll learn about Buffy the cat if VSW Vlogs 2's ever has the gall to show his ass up around these funhouse parts again. You like the PPP cam? It seemed like a better idea in my head. I feel like the execution of it might be stupid. So it works perfectly for Manga Tuesday. Now yes, I'm holding my phone so I had to look up the name and try not to butcher it. But we also had someone pass away in manga-related news. We're also a bit of a news show here at Manga Tuesday. The mangaka, the creator of Berserk, Kentaro Miura, passed away recently, within the last week or two. I can't remember exactly, and a lot of people are upset about it. Berserk is a very beloved series. I'm pretty sure the manga Berserk is rated #1 on Mal. And if you watch any other manga YouTubers, all of them all talk about how much they love Berserk and how it's always in like a top 5, if not top #1. Personally, I can't relate because I haven't actually read Berserk yet. I've been collecting the deluxe editions. I've got the first 5 or 6 of them. There's a couple more out I haven't got, but I'm slowly getting them and I'll read them eventually, but I haven't really gotten around to it, so I just thought I'd mention that he's died. And it does make me think about, because there are other series that I am much more invested in as of right now, like a Hunter x Hunter or a Vagabond, and it would really suck if one of them were to pass away. I know how impactful Berserk is to most people, and I'm sure it will be to me whenever I finally eventually read it, so it's a shame, you know, for a series so great and so influential that it'll never have a true finish. It'll just forever remain unfinished. Even if someone were to pick it up, I think I've seen some people about like, oh, his assistant or something, maybe they'll continue it, but I mean, it's not going to be the same, is it? And many of you are like, oh, you inconsiderate fuck, a person is dead, and all you care about is some stupid, silly fucking comic. How dare you? To that I say, shut the fuck up, you fucking retard. You know how many 53-year-olds fucking died over the last 2 weeks? Me neither. I've literal zero clue. But there's been a fair few I would have hazarded to guess, and you didn't give a fuck about a single one of them. You only gave a fuck about this one particular one because of the masterpiece manga that he created. So of course I'm going to talk about how it's a shame that his greatest piece of work will remain unfinished, and I hope that it doesn't happen to a Vagabond or a Hunter, even though fucking Vagabond, the guy could live to fucking 150 and he may never go back and finish this. It's kind of left up in the air. No one really knows whether he ever intends on ever going back to it. I hope he does, because it deserves a finish. And so does Hunter. And Hunter's a little worrying too, because he could live to 150 and still not finish it, because it's happened before. He did it with Yu Yu Hakusho, fucking Togashi, where he just decided, I've had enough. I don't know, because if you've seen the anime, I haven't seen the anime of it, but I think the anime might actually sort of create its own ending for the arc, but I guess the second last arc in the manga was just getting started, the last tournament arc, and just as it was starting, then the next chapter it randomly just cuts to like a year in the future, and it's just a few of the characters talking about the results of what happened, and then he quickly goes into like a 8 to 10 chapter mini arc to wrap things up really rushed and quickly. So my point is, he's done that before, so it's not without the realm of possibility that Togashi could just decide, fuck Hunter, I'm done, I've had enough of making manga, and just quickly wrap it up in a few chapters, and that would also suck. So the point is, I don't know what the point is. The point is the creator of Berserk died, and you know what? It's a tragedy when anyone dies. It sucks. And he, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, for a rating, let's wrap this up, let's keep it under 10 minutes. That means under 20 minutes. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, for a rating, I would give Paul a PPP out of Pizzle. I have no idea what I'm going to review next week, but I will review something next week, so leave a suggestion and I'll probably pick it. Not Big Lebowski though, that's not going to happen for over a year or more. But suggest something else and I'll review it. I'm open to all suggestions, all and any suggestions. And that pretty much sums things up. So, transition. Did I just do it right? Dios mio! Thanks for watching, and as always, Darcy out, a chatter cha-cha.
It's just another Tuesday. Tuesday. And if you were in for a spell where it falls into an order, you can help them. Well, yeah. No.
Ahoy hoy! You know who it is, it's your boy! I don't like that intro.